I would like to ask Jeff still about integral because I think there are people who have no idea what it is. So can you just in two sentences say why people should get involved with it and maybe also where to start? Because you said before Martin, that for you it was psychoactive, as Ken always calls it. As soon as you enter into this worldview, you wonder why should you see ever the world in a different way? I mean, why couldn't you have seen that before? Let's say it in this way. So what is it, Jeff? What makes it so
Well, we're always
special?
the holy grail of integrals, try to get it in 2 or 3 sentences. But basically, what integral is a view of the world that sees that evolution is not only happening in terms of our what we would call exteriors. That is, we've had atoms evolve to molecules to cells to beings on up to human beings, and we know that that's well established by science. What integral would add to that is that we are not only evolving in terms of bodies and in terms of the cosmos, but we are evolving in terms of individual consciousness and in terms of collective consciousness. So there are stages of consciousness evolution that are happening on the planet and with each individual person that make sense. And there are stages of development. There's traditionalists, there's modernists, there's postmodernists. These are all online at the same time. They don't like each other, they war with each other, and what integral does is integral sees this, what we would call the fourth dimension of time, that there's a movement of history, not only in the world and in culture, but in us as individuals, and that just helps us to befriend everybody. We stop expecting a 6-year-old to be a 12-year-old. We don't see a 6-year-old as being a defective 12-year-old. We see that everybody gets to be who they are, everybody gets to be where they are, and the question then is, how can we make the world as healthy as possible at the stage of development that it's at? And so it just really helps so much in understanding culture, politics, war and peace, economics. I did an interview with Ken Wilber 4 or 5 months ago about just the state of the world. And he said something that when he first said it, I thought, it's a little arrogant, but I've really come to realize just how true it is in a very simple way. He said, I don't see how people could understand the world without integral. I don't either. I mean, when I think of how I saw the world before I understood integral theory, I could actually feel myself become anxious in a way that, understanding integral, I relax, because I see that, there's an unfolding towards goodness, truth, and beauty that is unmistakable in history, and that there's no reason in the world why that can't continue. And in fact, we can see day by day, week by week, how it is continuing, and that the world, is a much better place than it has ever been. I think we're heading to a sacred world, and I just don't know how long it's going to take.
So you become much more, an open mind. It's really an open mind because you can understand why these people are in this way, and you can also understand that you have very little possibility to change them as we wanted before. No, we want always to change our husbands, for instance.
Well, that's the other thing, Heidi, is I would say that before integral, I had this sort of basic sort of orientation that everybody was a defective version of me.
Getting
it's like, how could you think that? Isn't it obvious that this is the way things are? Well, no, actually, you realize, no, people have completely different antennas and different ways of processing, and different facts make sense to them, and they come to different conclusions. And what a relief. I can relax. I can enjoy people for who they are. I can be friendly to everybody. It's remarkable, the change that happens.
And there's no good and bad, because you understand what before you saw as bad is just what they see, and they are there. As you said, a 6-year-old person is not yet 25, and you won't judge him or her as being 25. So it's very logical. And Jeff, you really are the embodiment of inspiration and hope and, what can I say, positivity.
Well, I don't know. I want to say sometimes he's an integral lullaby, and I just kind of melt in and let myself get tucked in by him, you know?
Oh,
and
thank you,
beautiful.
guys.